This is a brain. This is the place where our learning is stored. You could imagine it like this: a superhighway with lots of roads taking you back to your memories. Or maybe like this. Imagine that you're trying to remember something you've learnt in class, maybe a times table or how to spell a word. You're here, but the memory is deep within the forest of your brain. You know that you learnt that times table or word, but you can't remember it straight away. You might think of some possible answers, going down one memory pathway or another. You might realise that you're on the wrong track, or even lost. But don't give up too quickly or ask for the answer straight away, because suddenly something seems familiar. You might be on the right path back to your memory. And then you remember. Here's what happens. We can learn something at school and it goes into our working memory, but afterwards, if we don't practice remembering it, we forget the pathway back to the memory. Once we've learned something, it's important to keep going down those memory pathways again and again over days and weeks. The harder we try to remember, the better we will remember it next time, especially if we space out our practice. When you learn something once and don't practice remembering it, results show that you may not remember it as well in the future, like for a test or an exam. But if you space out practice, you'll get a much better result. Why? Because a little bit of forgetting happens in between each session. This means we have to try a bit harder to remember. It's difficult, but it causes us to remember the learning better next time. It works the same way in other areas of our body. Have you ever felt cold? Your body doesn't like feeling cold, so it does something. It shivers to warm you up. Well, our brain doesn't like trying to remember the same thing over and over either. It's too difficult and too much effort, so it does something too. It moves the learning into long-term memory. When we combine spacing our learning with being tested or quizzed, it takes even more thinking effort, so we remember better. It's called spaced retrieval practice. Retrieval just means that we practice remembering what we've learnt. Here's how it works. Scientists tell us that if we space out retrieving what we've learnt, it makes remembering more difficult. Our brain doesn't like all this thinking effort, so it moves what we are practicing into our long-term memory where it's safe and available the next time we need it, like for a test. So a little bit of forgetting and not getting all the answers right at the start actually helps learning. And don't worry, your teacher knows what you need to practice, and your mastery learning folder will help you space out your retrieval practice. Your family can help you as well. It's all about trying hard to remember. So think hard, just do it.